Good morning. I have come here today to inform you, my audience, the gray wolf's history on the endangered species list and the risk of future extinction. The population of the gray wolf has been on the rise after a near depletion of the species through hunting, trapping, and habitat loss during the expansion of the Western civilization in the late 1880s and the early 1900s. The reputation of the wolf as a scavenger and as a threat to livestock resulted in the wolves being savagely killed by landowners and the government. Population regrowth was assisted by the Fish and Wildlife Service, who had reintroduced wolves back into several states. The Fish and Wildlife Service will possibly remove the gray wolf off the endangered species list in 2014. Today I will introduce you to the gray wolf's reputation, what is being done to continue recovery of the wolf population, and the possible delisting as an endangered species. The gray wolf, Canis lupus, is a predator of many wild and domestic animals. They have killed many livestock, earning the reputation as savages. During the westward expansion of European settlers in America, the wolf has been a threat to farming and ranching. Wolves also threatened humans when they have been encountered as packs, but the settlers had been offered by the government for payment or bounty for wolf hides. This resulted in the near complete eradication of the wolf population in many states. In Montana, the gray wolf was likely extinct by the early 1930s. South Dakota also reported extirpation of the wolf population in the 1920s, 1930s, and they have rarely had a sighting since then. The status of the wolf as an endangered species began in 1974 as the population appeared to be so greatly reduced as to become threatened by extinction. Once the wolf was placed on the list of endangered species, federal law protected them from being killed by hunter, settlers, and trappers. Many people worried that the wolf protection would do what wolf protection would do to the wildlife, such as the deer, bighorn sheep, antelope, or buffalo. However, during the population comeback, the winters were mild and the population of the wildlife had increased with the population of the wolf. Today, the wolf is still protected in most states. There are some states that have taken open hunting on the wolf. Though there are so few tags, it would be rare to have the permission to actually hunt them. In the United States, the Fish and Wildlife Service has worked with several individual states to reintroduce wolves into the habitat of their origin. For instance, the Western Great Lakes wolf, centered in Minnesota, has multiplied, and the wolves are increasing their rangeland outside of Minnesota into the surrounding states, causing them to be mistaken for a coyote and killed, and this has been in far south as Kentucky. In 2005, there were over 100 breeding pairs in the western United States. This increased number of the breeding pairs had convinced the Fish and Wildlife Service that the reintroduction of the wolf has been a success. As the population of the wolf grows, the United States and the state level Fish and Wildlife Service work with the landowners who have lost the livestock by wolves. Some of the wolves are tranquilized and moved to other locations, while some, unfortunately, have to be controlled by lethal means. There have been many cattle, sheep, and other livestock killed by the wolf, but as a whole, the numbers of these incidents are insignificant. However, to the individual farmer or rancher, the losses can be devastating. As we have seen, wolves have come a long way from near extinction to recovery, albeit in a handful of states. Wolves are still protected federally in some areas, and several states have continued protection to cleared from federal government regulation protection. The United States Fish and Wildlife Service has worked with individual states and their landowners who have suffered livestock loss due to wolves. Though there are individual geographical areas that have recovered in the population of wolves, there are many states where a sighting is extremely rare to non-existent. The wolf is a majestic animal, and though the numbers have increased, the wolf should remain protected federally until there is no threat of geographical eradication, as we have seen at the end of the 19th century. Thank you.